So I'm out here in the shop right now, and I'm going to be working on my snowblower. I'm going to flip it up and I'll show you why. So the other day I had to replace my auger belt, and while I was in here replacing it, I noticed a whole bunch of rubber on my drive plate here, and it's hard to tell, but yeah, that drive wheel is done. So I got a replacement. So I'm going to put that on today. I've never done it before, but it looks like it's pretty straightforward. So there's 3 bolts on it. In order to access it, I'm just going to shift it into a higher gear and give me access on both sides. So in order to get the one side off, I need an extension and a 7/16 inch wrench, and it goes around this little notch here. So I can get on that side, and then this side has enough room for a regular socket. With the wheels removed, I have access to these bolts that hold in the bushings for this shaft. So I either have to move the shaft over a tiny bit to slip this ring off, or I got to take the whole thing out. I'm trying to avoid that, but it's not a big deal if it does. All right, with these bushing bolts out, I'm hoping I can slip this out of the sprocket. I can't do this one-handed, but I'm going to try to slip that out and then just kind of tilt it so that this ring slips off the other side. That's a little tricky, but I got it off. So here are these rings side by side. Let's try to get a better light here. So as you can see, the one is completely worn out. Not quite right, but anyways, it's flat. It doesn't have the dome anymore, and it is just trash. So I'm going to slip it back together. Hopefully get these bushings back in without having to take the axle out. All right, I was able to slip those bushing bearings back in. If you do attempt this, keep an eye out for these washers right here. There's one right here, and there's one right here. That's gonna allow your transmission to engage. Don't lose those. One other thing what I'm going to do while I have some time, and this wheel is already off, is there's a very slow leak in this. I'm going to find out if maybe there's something jammed in it, or if it's got a slow leak on the bead or stem or what. Alright, I found the leak. It's a super, super, super tiny air bubble coming out of between the rim and the rubber. I am not fixing that during the winter. I will replace that during the summer, either with some new bead seal or I'll put a tube in it. I'm not sure yet. All right, everything's all buttoned back up. The last thing you want to do is you want to clean your friction plate, your drive wheel, put some grease on your axles so it can slide across. Don't put too much because you don't want it to splatter on this. You can lube your gears, same thing. You don't want to splatter on that. Throw some grease or oil on your axles so your tires don't get seized. This thing's ready to flip and reassemble and start blowing snow again.